the sack.
Radiant team pick.
Gyrocopter!
Navi's turn to pick.
Tegna!
Navi's turn to ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the casting tables. I'm Loomis, he is Mr. Styles. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And we're wearing the same shirt.
You actually stole that shirt from my suitcase. Nobody knows this, but actually I have 10 of those shirts.
And you just
took one. Yeah.
All right, with that important fact out of the way, let's jump into the draft as we are kind of second pick and a couple bands in. What do you got for us, Andy?
Okay, so Burden actually had second pick. Na'Vi, they first picked the Undying, and Gyrocopter was still in the pool along with Leshrac. So obviously, Burden just go, oh, well, you're going to give us Leshrac and Gyrocopter for free. We will gladly take that. But I was thinking about it when I saw the first pick Undying and the Gyro still being available it seems like it's almost a bait pick, because they immediately picked Pugna after seeing these two heroes taken out. Now, a big problem that a lot of people have with the Undying early on is that the hero needs to win his lane. And the reason that is because he doesn't have any other way to force engagements. He doesn't really kill towers on his own. He's just good at fighting, right? But if you have a team that's built around being able to push very quickly, like having a Pugna, for example, you can supplement that hero in a way that you don't necessarily have to win the lane as hard as you can just sit him in front of the Pugna and just deal damage to towers over time. So I think it's an interesting way to go about it. And plus, another ward is amazing against Leshrac. Like, it demolishes him in fights if you can't get to it. So I think that Na'Vi definitely have something in store for Burden in this game one.
Yeah, I do want to go back to the point where you mentioned about Undying. We just saw from the game that you casted where the Undying didn't really do that much in the early game, and he just fell really far behind. In fact, I don't think he was too much of a factor once the big team fights are breaking out 25 minutes and beyond. But yes, we are going to see quite a bit of pushing from Na'Vi. I'm a little dubious about whether this Pugna could work because, like you said, the Nether Ward's going to be excellent. At the same time, you are pushing into now an AA Ice Blast, a Gyrocopter Call Down, as well as Leshrac Lightning Spam. It's a hard lineup to push into if you cannot protect that Nether Ward. So I think we're going to see a lot of fight around that Nether Ward. Also, I feel that Na'Vi, by drafting both Undying and Pugna, they're going to be very immobile. You put down that Tombstone, you put down the Nether Ward. If the fight ever moves out of that area, you're not fighting anymore, right? So you're somewhat restricted, and I guess that's where Puck comes in, right? You coil the enemy team in, you make sure they fight where you want to fight. This is actually looking pretty scary if they could execute the lineup that's intended to be.
Yeah, I think the Puck pick is crucial for this lineup. If they didn't have something else that could initiate for them or even counter-initiate, I'd say their lineup would be looking a little bit more weak on paper. But we still have a couple of picks left. Na'Vi have yet to really pick a hard disable, but they've also banned out Shaker and the Spirit Breaker, which are two heroes that would be fantastic at disrupting their kind of combo that they have going for themselves right now. As Burden, with the Bane now picked up, have a handful of disables at their disposal, so they'll have the Split Earth, they'll have Nightmare, and they will also have the Fiend's Grip. And Winter Wyvern Puck combination, insanely strong. Like, you're going to be able to land some really good Winter's Curse on the Gyrocopter, or maybe the Shrek, for example, if you want to try to burst one of them down. Their team fight is still very good. The one thing, though, is that the heal from Winter Wyvern, the Cold Embrace, it's not going to be that useful because everyone on the side of Burden pretty much can deal magical damage, even the Gyrocopter. So putting somebody in an ice block would probably kill them just as easily as it would save them.
Yeah, I don't think he's really picked for the ice block, considering that he's picked after Ancient Apparition, which I imagine you're not going to get much.
It has to be for Curse and Harass. Like, that's the only reason I can see picking up PvP.
I would say that Splinter Blast in this particular draft is going to be a big part of it too. Going back to the Dream Coil and whatnot. Burden United, a big fan of Bane because the combos with the Bane Mirana pick, which they do put Sing Sing on quite a bit. And honestly, Bane Mirana is a combo that really puts a lot of pressure on your offlane. Thankfully, they have Undying, which is pretty good against that, I want to say, because once you get like a 2-man decay, you're pretty tanky. Do you think this is a carry Pugna, or we're going to see some sort of offensive dual lane Pugna? Or maybe if it's a tri-lane Pugna?
I'm kind of wondering that myself, actually. I think it would be safer to see last pick and then decide what we think we're going to do with it. I think no matter what, Pugna needs farm priority, at least to a certain degree. Like, you want to either put him in the safe lane, or you want to put him in a situation where he's in a solo experience, like going mid, for example. But for right now, Burden, I don't know if they can run Mirana. I definitely think that they're actually thinking about putting that down there, but it would allow them to win their lanes pretty heavily. Like, if they actually did like a Bane Mirana off lane, and then they put that up there against, no matter what Na'Vi field right now, Bane Mirana is still very strong against all of their heroes. And I'd say that Na'Vi's lineup is very dependent on trying to snowball from the laning phase and just grouping up, trying to fight a lot, and then just trying to end the game. Like, why else do you pick Undying if not to fight? Are you alive yet?
Yeah, I just had a coughing fit, so I had no idea what you said.
I'm just double checking. Lumi was dying on the other side of me, so I had to talk for quite a while there, but Burden's still thinking about their last pick. They took out the Clinks too, which I think is a really smart ban, given the fact that not only Funnick plays an amazing Clinks, but it's another hero who adds a decent amount of push to their lineup and physical damage output, which right now Na'Vi are kind of lacking. So it would kind of supplement their damage with something that's not just pure magic right now, because once Gyrocopter and Lush get BKBs, that's another concern that Na'Vi are going to have, is they don't have any physical DPS. So we'll see what they're going to pick for their last.
Yeah, when you said the Clinks, man, I thought Beastmaster was a perfect pick for Na'Vi, because not only does it supplement the push, it also gives you quite a bit of physical damage once you pick up the Necro books. But unfortunately, Burden United has picked up the Beastmaster. They have to turn to other choices. Anything that comes to mind, especially from the off lane?
I really think they wanted Clinks, actually. Like, looking at their lineup, it would have worked so well for them. I mean, you definitely just need some form of physical DPS, and can you really pick anything that's not melee? That's my question. Like, Drow comes to mind, but Drow is so all in. Like, unbelievably all in. Like, even more than they already are. I think this is like purely aggressive. We want to fight nonstop. Like, Pugna, Undying together, that lineup needs momentum, and I think Drow might be one of the only heroes that can give it to them.
Any shot of playing something like just either all in terms of just the first 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you go for like a safe lane Invoker with Exhort and just Sunstrike your way in there. Gives you some decent mid-game with Necro.
Yeah, oh, there goes Darks here.
Okay. So this is the other all-in where you just say, alright, we're going to just go for the Wombo combo, and it is a very scary combo.
Yeah, the combination is there for sure. They're gonna it's gonna be a position 1 Pugna, so it's gonna be Havos playing on that, and then we're gonna see the Dendi Puck mid. So I'm wondering if they're gonna split this up as a 2-1-2. Or if they're just going to go ahead and run it fully like tri-lane style and just have Funnick hopefully 1v1 up against the Beastmaster, and then have the Dendi matchup for Necroman, Leshrac in middle lane. Because I think Puck matches up better against Leshrac than most heroes, because you can easily phase shift all the lightning.
Yep.
Some heroes just have to kind of take that damage, and it's not really that great. But I would actually still think that Burden's lineup, I like it more than Na'Vi's. But Na'Vi just showed a really good performance against a team who I feel was actually better than the opponents that Burden beat in their game, if that makes sense.
That's fair.
So I still think that Na'Vi play-wise might have the advantage, but I like Burden's draft more.
I think the thing about that last game was Dendi was allowed to get so far ahead, and I don't think with Puck he is going to be able to do that as easily.
Yeah, it was a different circumstance, for sure. But I do feel overall that in this game, if Na'Vi don't get some early momentum, it's going to be kind of rough, because Ancient Apparition, Ice Blast, you're going to have Beastmaster Hawks scouting out your ganks and such. It's a really tough situation to be in if you don't get the early lanes going your way. And we'll see if they're able to do so on the side of Na'Vi. Oh, apparently Na'Vi ran the same lineup before in the EU qualifiers. I must have not been around for that game.
I think we're busy playing.
I don't know what time of day it was on. That's the thing, because it was either we were sleeping, we were casting, or we were on the stream. So it's like there were a ton of games being played. All right, well, we have a second. We can go over the players from each team here on the side of Burden United. We'll start off first with the Ancient Apparition. It's going to be played by MyNuts. We're going to have Come With Me. It's handling up the Bane. In the river, we're going to have Sing Sing playing at the Gyrocopter. Necroman handling the Leshrac, and then finally we're going to have Sakshka, aka Paris, playing the Beastmaster.
On the side of Na'Vi, Funnick will be safe laning Darkseer, at least for now. We have Havos playing the offensive Pugna. Dandy, of course, on Puck. In the jungle, kind of scouting right now. Artstyle on the Undying, and of course, our star Winter Wyvern player. Actually really putting up a lot of sick plays.
Yep. Saniko, what a guy.
Yep.
So, looking at the lanes, I guess it is full aggression coming out from Na'Vi. I feel like that's one of the choices that you just have to assume is going to happen from the team that picks Undying. Like, they want to lane against your lane if possible. And given that, right now, Burden, they do have an Ancient Apparition and a couple of ranged heroes to partner with that. So, Chilling Touch, always going to be very dangerous at low level. You partner that with Rocket Barrage and a Bane who has either Defensive Nightmare or Brain Sap. This may be one of the few lanes that I think could actually contest and do fairly well against an Undying tri-lane.
Yeah, especially with Undying kind of sitting in the front line, tanking up quite a bit of damage on the get-go. Interesting little bit of pulling here by the Beastmaster.
Yeah, it's just normal stuff. Just trying to get the first wave of experience. And even doing this makes the next couple of waves kind of meet in a better place for you, so you don't have to necessarily CS in harm's way. But I think most of the important lanes are pretty much going to be mid and the safe lane. The off lane, both heroes will likely farm. The Darkseer should potentially win this lane if he's able to do any sort of like creep cutting or pulling himself. And then the safe lane is going to be probably the most indicative of who's going to have the better early game.
Quite a bit of Trey coming on the bot lane right now. Seems to be being completely zoned out, which somewhat you expect, facing against Undying. I imagine we're going to see Pugna go for either a quick Magic Stick or a Basil, just to get a little bit better mana regen. In terms of like raw killing power, you talked about the triple range right click. At the same time, even you saw the Nightmare there. It's really hard to go into a lineup like Na'Vi's because they have a lot of counter killing potential as well.
They do, but it's a different kind of commitment, right? Like Burden, when they go in, they kill the hero within seconds. Whereas Na'Vi,
they have to chase a bit.
Yeah, they have to chase, and you also need to be able to land your blast, which means that the Arctic Burn and the Pugna Blast have to be on point. And you can also, like, you can't really use Decrepify that freely either, because it means that Arctic Burn is not going to get applied. But in the river, gonna have some trading going on here. My Nuts still has 8 seconds left.
Ooh.
Honest Chilling Touch. Nightmare's going to be there. Come with me, will be able to pick up the bounty rune and make his way back towards the safe lane. But
they're going to Arctic Burn right now here. My Nuts
damage.
being chased. Decay's going to come off cooldown one more time. And the right click should be able to do it. He's going to, in fact, deny himself to the huge camp.
Nice.
And Hadouken's going to do it.
Oh, it could be a trade-off.
Sing Sing's going to come in, and looks like Winter River's going to drop the first blood. Great deny here by Burden United. And Artstyle, he wants to fight the steal of the life from Come With Me, and he looks like he's going to be able to run away. Courier now joining the fray. Artstyle trying to go for the kill. He will have Decay one more time, but, oh, he will get the kill! The South? I think he salved himself, right?
yeah.
Okay, great play here by Artstyle. And even though Sing Sing was part of that kill, he was pulled away from the Placids for at least a wave.
Yeah, he went from having even less hits with Havos to Havos having 11 and 3, but he still got first blood and credit for another kill. So, all in all, I would say that was okay for both teams. I still think that Sing is going to be happy with his first blood exchange, especially given that Navi's tri-lane, like this lane is built to win. And when you're giving away kills at the early stage and you already have a level 3 gyro, I mean, that can be a little bit of a problem if you're Na'Vi. I'm not sure how comfortable they're going to be going into this lane if they give away like 1 or 2 more kills on top of this.
I think the early trades is okay for Na'Vi because their lineup gets much better at like level 3-ish. Because when you get the Tombstone, when you get the heal in, and obviously, depending on whether Havos goes for the Decrepify, like you said, or the ward, the killing potential could be a lot higher as well. Back in mid lane, Dendi looks like he's going to take a stun to the face. TP's going to come in here, but I'm not sure if he's going to make it back home. Well, he'll make it back home, but in a different way.
Not the way that he wanted, at the very least.
And that TP being drawn out is pretty costly to Winter Wyvern as well.
Yeah, normally when you see those types of rotations, you just imagine that the lane that the support rotates from is going to suffer because they see a gank and then all of a sudden Na'Vi start applying pressure. But the issue with their tri-lane is they don't have a way of forcing it. They need to wait to engage on them. Like, Burden United need to walk into Na'Vi first, drop a tombstone, then counter-engage. So I don't really know if there's too many avenues they have of being able to just run in and punish, but unfortunately for them, they waste a little bit of time. And all that considered, still have to look at the CS right now. Na'Vi are still leading pretty much on all 3 of their cores. So Dendi, Havos, Funnick, they're all getting the farm they need.
But here's the thing, something that we didn't really talk about. I guess we touched on a little bit, that you like Burden United's draft a little bit more. And more importantly, Na'Vi needs to have this start, right? Because all they have is the mid game. Once we see Burden United's core picking up BKB, that's when Na'Vi's lineup really just, they're done, right? It nosedives for quite a bit.
But it also depends on how much damage you can deal within that time frame. Like, it's not as if BKBs are an item that come up like, you know, pre-20 minutes every single game. It requires a very set circumstance. So as long as Na'Vi are able to deal some damage between that time, it's not just like automatic game loss if BKBs come out. It just becomes significantly harder for them.
Well, Winter Wyvern's going to zone people out. Here comes that Arctic Burn. Tombstone's going to get dropped here. Come with me. Still very slow. It looks like the nice detoggling.
That damage.
Yeah. I mean, the commitment was there, dropping that to Tombstone, but the burst is also there. I didn't expect Na'Vi to get that kill very quickly, mostly thanks to that Decrepify.
Yeah, Decrepify decay into, I think that was a level 3 blast at the time. Might have been level 2. I'm pretty sure it was level 3. But that is a very easy kill for Na'Vi. And also remember, Pugna is one of the best early game tower pushers, not because of how fast he kills a tower, which is still fast. Top lane, gonna see a roar on Defiant.
Wow.
Axes to follow it up. Paris, he gets a solo kill.
Not the solo kill we expect to have.
Yeah, I think he was maybe overestimating his survivability a bit. And it could very well be that Paris just hit 6 and then gets a kill off of that and is now close to 7. But as we were talking about, Pugna is, his strength is that he doesn't have to commit to the tower to deal a lot of damage. He just drops the blast and walks away.
Yep.
Like, he doesn't have to go all in, like continually hit the tower to kind of chip it away. It's just, nope, I deal guaranteed damage every time I get in range, and eventually the tower will just die.
I think that's where having heroes like Bane and Beastmaster against Pugna is very good. You make him think a bit about committing, or not even committing, just walking into your tower range. If you drop a Roar or a Nightmare on him, he can get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But I think the key thing right now is that, apart from the solo kill that Burden United is getting, Sing Sing is still doing okay. He hasn't died on this bottom lane, and that's huge for him.
Yeah, you don't really expect him to die, though. I mean, the way that they kill him is they Arctic burn him, but Come With Me, really aggressive here, getting caught up by himself, goes in to try to do something, but his team just bails on him, and they just give another kill to Havost.
Well, I guess the silver lining is because Come With Me is dying, that he's not dying.
Well, but that didn't really seem like it was going to work at all, you know? Like, as soon as he goes in, it just seems like the rest of his team said, that's not going to work, and then they just ran. Like, there wasn't even an inkling if we want to fight, it was just immediate, we're gone. I don't know if that was really the play.
And that's the tower.
Yeah, tower's just dead. But that's also what I was saying in regards to BKBs and how sometimes getting the later one might not be as effective as you would think against these types of lineups, because if they get like another tower off that, if they go to the tier 2 and Burden still can't react to it, then you're going to start having some problems.
Ooh, Phonic dropping real low there.
Yeah.
Barely makes it home. The other thing that Burden United's got going for them is that despite Na'Vi having this kind of strong mid-game lineup, they're not really good at taking Roche, which is something that you expect from a lineup that knocks down multiple towers, right? Like, their physical damage is laughable. Unless you pick up maybe 1 or 2 pairs of Necro Books and maybe a Medallion of Courage, which is fine item choices for Na'Vi.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Havost or Dendigo for book in this game. It's a very, very strong pickup.
Yeah. Especially against, like, the Necro... Sorry.
Roar?
And
Side of the woods here, yeah. Axes straight into him. See you later, Winter Wyvern. They're going to find a pick, but bottom lane, Havost and Artstyle just continually pressuring here. This is a level 3 Ancient Apparition, so good luck being able to stop this on your own.
Well, he's trying to get whatever experience he could get, but I think that tower is going to drop very quickly. There's a Nightmare to start things up. Sing Sing, no cooldown just yet, but he will use the Space Boot as well as Rockets to harass Phonic away. It looks like there's a kill being picked up by Dendi. Coil was used there, but that's T2. That's 8 minutes in.
Yeah, this is kind of the issue, that if the Pugna wins the lane this hard, suddenly you lose your buildings. And this is exactly what Na'Vi want. Like, their lineup is sort of all in the sense that their heroes need to be able to apply a lot of map pressure in the first, like, 20-25 minutes. We're at 9 minutes, and there is no safe lane anymore for Burden. That is a very, very big issue that they're going to have to address, and sooner or later, Burden are going to have to fight. Like, they can't just let their towers keep dying like that. Because it doesn't matter if you can kill Roshan or not. If the enemy team has taken all 6 of your outer tier towers by 20 minutes, you're probably not getting Roshan either. And in some cases, that can be enough to just keep a team happy and say, okay, yeah, we might not be able to kill Roche, but you're sure as hell not going to kill it.
Big pickup for Burden United is the level 6 on Gyro. Now, even if you're sieging the tower, you're at least going to delay you by a creep wave or 2, because that cooldown is it's a difficult thing to push against. They also need level 6 on the Ancient Apparition, which they're not even close to. So Burden United, they kind of have to walk around, maybe go for a pick off 2. Here comes a Beastmaster Roar. Funnick should be dead, and the Cryptify is not helping out. Funnick trying to search away the lightning, will get the kill, but Havos trapped by a Nightmare. He will wand up, and I think he's going to get chased down here. Trying to dodge, not going to dodge successfully, and double kill for Burden United.
Yeah, those are big kills. You definitely want to get Na'Vi off your side of the map, and especially them both going to the Leshrac. He can make his way towards that Bloodstone. Sooner he gets that, sooner he can start thinking about BKB, and that's when Leshrac is really a nightmare for Na'Vi's lineup, is when you can't really deal with him with the Nether Ward in of itself, and the Puck coil isn't really going to do much until then he gets Aghanims, which is a long ways off. So I think that the faster Burden can get to that point where their Leshrac reaches critical mass, the better off they're going to be. And the same thing could be said for Sing on his Gyrocopter. Like, BKBs are a very crucial item pickup for both cores on Burden for this game.
So, well, Funnick's going to try to search away, but he can get Nightmared. Oh, just runs out of the range. And he should be fine. So how much do you want to rush that BKB? Do you go Treads, Drums, straight into BKB? I imagine that's going to be the sequence.
It kind of depends on what your overall game plan is. I mean, early BKB on Burden is always going to be good against Navi's team. Like, there's no real argument against it, except if not...
I mean, there's like a really rush way. Like, for example, Leshrac could go straight up BKB first, and I would make the argument that it's not very good there, right? Come with me, he's going to get coiled, and he's going to get the Crep Blast, and yep, he's dead. The TPs are coming in, and I'm not sure whether they want to fight into this. Nether Ward has been dropped, and that should ward away the aggression from Burden United.
Yeah, they lose their tier 1 though in the process. Havos is able to walk up there and just throw out a couple of blasts, take it down. He's got his mech money now. I wouldn't be surprised to see him going straight for the Guardian Grease and then maybe for a BKB himself, just to be able to stand in the fight. And he isn't even skilling his life drain, which is fairly uncommon, but I kind of get why he's not doing it. I think Nether Ward is broken against some heroes. So
Leshrac being one of them.
Yeah, and the other thing too is like there's Fiend's Grip, there's Roar, there's Leshrac Stun, there's like Call-Down you want to move out of, Ice Blast you want to dodge. You don't really want to stand still. And since Pugna has ridiculously low health and pretty abysmal strength gain on top of that, if you get hit by an AA Blast, you're probably dead anyway. So you kind of need to be mobile in this game.
The other huge item pickup here for Na'Vi is the Hood and then into Pipe by the Darkseer, because I just don't think Burden United could deal with the Pipe push in the next 10 to 15 minutes.
With their lineup, it's a lot of AoE damage, but I wouldn't underestimate the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast. That's what I'm looking at. I'm saying that's the great equalizer right now for Burden. Just being able to stop the push because you can't heal. Like, that's not being able to sustain with their heroes on the side of Na'Vi. Like, that's what keeps them able to just apply pressure constantly.
That is true. Their HP pool is pretty low, and looks like it's Burden United that wants to fight. Beastmaster Roar's going to go inside. Gotta burst him down, and looks like the Coast Embrace not going to be enough to keep him alive. On the back line here, Havos pops a mech, mostly just for himself. Ice Blast is going to come in, and it will clip the Winter Wyvern. I think he'll shatter here. Yeah, actually, he should be fine.
Maybe last tick? Yeah, there we go.
Okay. And that's 2 more kills for Burden United. Despite all of this aggression, they're actually deflecting it pretty well.
Yeah, they lost a couple of towers, but again, that's to be expected in these types of lineups where your lane kind of loses out. It almost looked like Burden were going to win that tri-lane after they got the first 2 kills, right?
Yeah.
But then Come With Me with a really weird play coming in from the woods ends up giving away a kill. I think they lost 1 more again after that, and then just boom, 2 towers just mowed down. I think Na'Vi is not being able to kill Roshan's strategy with their lineup is going to come back to bite them soon.
Unless they go Medallion, which I don't see any hero in particular picking up those pieces.
Nah, I don't even go back for Medallion at this point. But
Ice Blast? Oh, that's annoying.
It really is. Like, Dendi, he has no bottle charges left. He can get mech'd up by Havos, but other than that, it's like you don't have any alternative means of getting your health back. I guess Soul Rip is there, but it's only level 1, so it's not really a huge heal one way or another.
But they have a lot of way to heal. Oh, what a vacuum here coming out, and looks like Necroman's going to be in huge trouble. He does do a lot of damage before dying. Come With Me, he's going to get burst down as well. Wall being expended as well. TP should be canceled. Is he going to actually TP? And Sing Sing is going to come in immediately ultimate. And I think Sing Sing will go down. Does drop the ultimate though. Funnick on the run. Looks like the Ice Blast will clip in the second time. Funnick taking a ton of damage. So does the Winter Wyvern. He does get heal up, and looks like they're going to run through the wall. and Sokka is not going to chase. T1 tower is still in perils, but the key thing is they picked off the Pugna, and there's going to be no more big blasts on your tower as a result.
It's so unfortunate that Ice Blast didn't go like 100 or 200 more units. Would have definitely killed Saniko and might have even done enough damage to secure a kill on perhaps Artstyle, but either way, Na'Vi forced back. They don't get the tower. Keeping their outer 2 towers alive at this point for Burden is like almost priority number 1. They're not really farming though, that's the thing. Like, it's 15 minutes in. Highest CS in the game on the side of Burden is 59, which is not really that substantial. Not really surprising either though, given how aggressive both teams have been playing this. More Na'Vi than anything else, just Burden being forced to react in a lot of different situations. But and Necroman, he gets his own tier 1 in the safe lane, so he's not just taking it for nothing here. Denny looking for a kill he's not going to find. And the early pipe that you were talking about for Burden now coming up on Na'Vi.
Yep. And I imagine once that comes up, all the outer tier 2 will start to get mowed down. Good job here by Necroman though, continue to split push. And looks like he's going to do quite a bit of damage to that opposing T2, forcing out a glyph at the very least. But here comes Na'Vi. And I think with call down just being used on Sing Sing, this tower is going to go down. It's just a matter of time.
I mean, their push with the Havos Pugna is insane. Like, every single time it throws another blast, it's like 10% plus of the tower's health easy.
Yep. But I think actually Bird is going to get a trade.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
What level is Leshrac Edict right now? Okay, it's still only level 1. He's only level 9. Okay. I thought for some reason that he was higher level than that.
This game feels it's going much faster because of Navi's aggression, and Navi's not stopping. Is the pipe delivered yet? On the Darkseer? Yeah,
on the Darkseer, yeah.
They have it. Here we go. I honestly don't think they could defend it. The tier 3 is going to go down for sure. There's no more glyph as well, and I think that's the reason why they're pushing. Here comes the Ice Blast. Blink in coming in from Dendi. Just a little bit of harass. And that ward's actually in a very forward position. Without that, though, I think Na'Vi will hang back in a bit.
The tower's almost dead, though, already. Like, it's at, what, 25% health?
I think you just keep going, because glyph has been expended, but maybe they'll go back, heal up a little bit.
Still very dangerous. If you make one wrong move right now, coil and ulti on top?
Well, he's... Okay.
Yeah, they coiled him and cursed him, but they didn't actually go for the kill because they realized that nobody can get in that position.
Burden United wants to fight. Tombstone's going to be there. Dendi blinks back in, but here comes the cooldown. Hits on all 5. Where's that pipe? It's going to get activated, I think. Was it even activated? It looks like it has been canceled immediately. And Havos is on the chase with that surge. There's its Cryptify. The blast is going to be at the ready. Dendi coming on the side. Here comes the orb and a right click. They will get the kill. 3 kills going the side of Na'Vi, and they're pressing for more. Hindsight's 2020, but was that really the right decision for Burden United to chase out of their base into Na'Vi?
They saw Winter's Curse get used. They saw Coil get dropped. They're like, okay, well, they just dropped 2 ultis on Sakshka for nothing. So why don't we just go try to make something happen? Because they know that if they win one of those fights, it's going to be huge for them. Just making sure that Na'Vi can't go high ground for a little bit longer, but, I mean, this is the risk that you run. Fortunately, their respawn timers are not that long, so Sing's already alive again, and it's only 10 more seconds for Necroman.
And for now, Na'Vi will back off. The thing is, every time they win a small fight like this, they knock down another tower, they get more items and bigger items. Looks like we're going to see Crimson Guard coming out from Undying, and that's going to be the trifecta of Mech, Pipe, Crimson, and it's going to be so hard for Burden United to keep up the damage, which right now is just lackluster. Necro books are being upgraded, I imagine. And what item do you think the Puck's going to be going for on the side of Dendi?
I think Yule's is kind of like the go-to, right? Is Yule's really that good this game, though, is my question. I still think somebody wants a book on the side of Na'Vi.
I think Necrobook for Puck is a fine choice.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Like, just being able to go high ground. They're going to catch out Funnick here. Ice Blast going to follow up the Nightmare into a Roar. Yeah, he's a gunner.
Come with me. We'll have grip in about 1 second if they want to chase. Our style is going to cut in from the behind and come with me. Doesn't have a teleport scroll, so he is stranded and trying to do a little bit of nightmare shenanigans. Won't make it home. I say that, he's kind of just making a run for it. No, he's just delaying for the rest of his team. Top lane though, look at Necroman. He's breaching high ground on the other end.
I mean, it's level 2 edicts. I'm not entirely sure if this is going to be super successful, and he might just die for this.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think this is a noble sacrifice. That space created though. That's getting 2 high priority targets off of your side of the map. Havos being probably the most important to make sure that he's not able to get to your towers, because he's the one who deals the more significant tower damage just because of another blast. But I mean, giving away a kill, not really the greatest. They are starting to recover some of their farm, though. A little while ago, Na'Vi were the ones who were out farming in terms of creep kills, but Burden are starting to recover a bit, which is a good sign.
All right, here comes the push once again. Yule Scepter has been picked up here by Havos just to sustain that little bit of mana regen. The gold graph is actually very close, even though this game doesn't really look like it. And here comes Na'Vi. Arctic Burn just to give them a little bit more deeper harass. Ice Blast going to come in. Let's see if they can dodge it. It's a very small Ice Blast pipe. Not going to get cast just yet. And they're going to focus on that range Rex, as well as blasting both Rexes at once. Range Rex will go down. Glyph not up, at least not soon.
It's that pug value. Being able to hit both racks simultaneously. Oh, the thank you!
Oh, huge wall on top of everything else. And they're taking so much damage. Coils will follow through. And all of Burden United is just crumbling right now. Buyback from the gyrocopter and a call down. But they're just tanking it up like they don't care. And the last set of racks will go down. How did we not talk about this combo?
We didn't talk about the combo. Okay, you were dying when I was talking about it.
My bad.
Yeah, it's okay.
Sorry for dying.
No, it's okay, dude. Yeah. I forgive you. I don't forgive you for stealing my shirt, though. Still mad about that. Either way, that was the dream combo. Very, very nicely executed by both Funnick and Sonico on top of that.
The fact that neither of them had a blink dagger just makes it more impressive.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that is when that kind of combo happens, they're going to get a vacuum on 2 more here. Art style, seeming like he wants to go in. Ice Blast is going to be thrown out. Come With Me is going to be the first one to drop here to Havos. They're going to see another Yules come out. Sing walking forward, walks into it. He's just getting annihilated by the ward. Havos just picks up a triple kill with just life draining and nether ward damage on Sing. I don't actually know if they can hold their base anymore.
I don't think so. The Kirk can't buy fed. What is this, a pub game? No, I'm not sure if it's being fed on purpose. Dagon's going to get picked up. Buyback's going to come through. That Tombstone still being a huge problem on the front line. Arsar right-clicking. And I think they are going to back off to
regen. Okay, Havos is out of mana, that's why. Yeah. So without Havos having mana, they obviously can't continue to push. They need Nether Ward, they need Nether Blast as well.
But here's the thing, like, Havos just picked up so much gold. He's got 3k now.
He just got a casual triple kill, like standing there. Like Sing walked forward, gets decrepified, gets blasted by Ward, and just, he's dead.
Yeah, the one thing that we haven't really mentioned is that Burden United don't really have good tools to kill that the Nether Ward. Necro 3 is a fine way to do it, but I'm not sure if the Beastmaster is migrating to do so. And I guess they have Boars as well, but when you're facing against like the repeated Nether Blasts, those units will get burned down very quickly as well.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, have you seen this like breadcrumb trail of wards?
Yeah.
Outside of Burden's base. Like they just warded like 3 right on top of each other, more or less.
I mean, it looks pretty bad on the minimap right now, but given the fact that they had a huge fight in that area, you want all the vision that you could get, so
yeah,
it makes sense.
An interesting choice here from Havos. He opts to go for the Vlads. Now he had, what, 3,300 gold, I want to say? Mm-hmm. He could just
That's
think
Necro 1 if he wants it.
I mean, this is the I want to end the game item, right? And yeah,
I think Necro 1's the better end the game
That's
item.
what I was gonna say. I was gonna pose the question, do you think Necro 1 is better than just getting Vlads? Because Vlads gives your entire team the armor bonus, right? And you all get lifesteal, which could allow them to do Roshan, which for their team, we talked about is difficult to do. Fiend's Grip here on Havos. Coil is going to break that and land on 2. Necroman, he hits Winter's Curse. AL coming in, it's going to land on 2 as well. Come With Me, kills himself on the Nether Ward. Necroman cannot cast another spell or he will just die. Force back Dendy, he wants to go in, but unfortunately his Blink is being put on cooldown by that Ice Blast. Not going to be able to find the kill on the Necroman. And this game is looking very, very tough for Burden. We talked about how Na'Vi need to push the pace, and they have definitely been doing just that.
Yeah. Flawless, well, I don't want to say flawless play by Na'Vi, but they haven't really overextended, which is a big problem for these kind of pushing lineup. If you lose 1 or 2 of those big fights, you're kind of out of the game, but they've never lost that fight. Burden United did press for 1 in the mid lane, and it did not go their way. Na'Vi is going to break the high ground, which interestingly, by the way, bottom lane has not had a T3 tower. Arsal is going to get burst down. I want to say he's being healed up. That Ice Blast, I think AA got silenced or something like that, so he wasn't able to actually hit it on top of Arstyle. Calldown's going to come down, but Sing Sing's going to die much quicker than any of Na'Vi's hero. And Arstyle on the front line will finally drop, but they still have to deal with a Tombstone in the front line.
Ooh. Oh, Havos?
Necro 3 doing a lot of damage, but they have to sustain the urn, the heals, and then they coming in with a Blink Dagger. Come With Me will drop once again. And they're taking quite a bit of damage here.
Yeah, I think they might end up getting cleaned out, or at least pushed back at the very least. The tower is still at half HP. New Nether Ward drop, but this one's just going to get auto-attack down. They're not going to have to worry about it. And yeah, Na'Vi will eventually have to fall back. But Dendi's just upgrading Dagon at this point. He's
Yeah.
like, no one's even close to getting a BKB, except for Sing, I guess.
But this is not one of those games where Na'Vi is throwing lives at the tower. They're backing off, but it's like, okay, we're backing off to regen.
No, it's definitely good.
Yeah.
Like, normally, like maybe on a bad day, Na'Vi would dive that and lose like all their heroes. Then suddenly you'd see like a BKB and a half be picked up by Burden. Like Leshrac might get a little bit closer to his, and then Sing would have his completely finished. Whereas right now, does he actually? He's that poor. Wow. Okay, he's not even close to his BKB.
I mean, he dive backed once earlier, so. All right, look over Havos, right? He's got a soul booster. Is this an Octarine core or is it a Bloodstone? I think both items is a fine choice here.
I think Octarine is better for ending the game. Because Octarine lowers the cooldown on your blast.
Yeah. I don't think the cooldown was ever the problem, though. I feel like the regen is the issue. The thing about Bloodstone that does for Na'Vi...
I mean, he's got 15 mana regeneration anyway. That's still pretty significant at this stage in the game. That means that every 10 seconds you can throw out a blast just based on your mana regeneration.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I think both items are great. I just think Bloodstone's better because the way that Burden United needs to do in these team fights is kill Havos. And if you throw everything on Havos, the rest of the team's going to get healed, and you just don't have enough damage output to kill everything else.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree that both of them are good too. I was just saying that between the Netherworld cooldown and the Nether Blast cooldown, I think that is enough to kind of push it one way.
All right,
they're going to go high ground.
Well, they're just running into everything, and ooh, they actually get a lot of damage done by Burden United. I'm not sure where the Crimson Guard or the pipe was. And Leshrac, though, he's taking so much damage, will die to the coil. Dente blinks in, but he's taking so much damage from Sing Sing's Rocket Barrage. He's still going to chase. He does have Dagon off cooldown, or on cooldown for a bit. And there's that BKB, but is it too little too late?
That was like Wombo combo into Wombo combo. Like, they walk up high ground, they lose, what, 2 heroes before they're even really able to do anything at all. Yeah, like, Artstyle died, and I believe Sonico died without ulting. Funnick gets a 3-man vacuum, I believe, and a wall, then he immediately dies after the fact. So, I'm not sure, like, they didn't preemptively pop the pipe because everyone almost got hit by that cooldown.
Yeah.
Like, that was just an insane amount of damage. I believe that the Ice Blast was there to follow it up, and then, like, a Lightning or something like that, and everyone on the side of Na'Vi was just really, really hurting for health at that point.
It was really fortunate for Burden United because what happened was the Darkseer blinked in, but he blinked straight into a roar. Not the actual roar target itself, but he got pushed aside.
Yeah.
So his vacuum got a little bit janked up there.
Yeah, it would have been a lot better if they could have synced up their abilities. But it looks like you were right, by the way. It's going to be that Bloodstone leave on the Pugna. It does give him pretty much double the regeneration that he had, too.
Yeah.
So he can pretty much Nether Blast off cooldown without losing mana now.
That's actually insane now that you put it like that. It's just...
Because before, if it's like 15 mana regeneration and the spell costs 145, then it's like around 10 seconds, right? But now it's like 5, which is the same cooldown as the spell itself, or 5.5.
Here we go. High ground once again. I would also make the argument that if Havos has BKB, it would be really good for him. Although, I'm not sure if he could activate it, given there's so much single target focus. You could just get stunned and killed.
If he gets roared, I think he might die before the BKB gets popped. It looks like that's what they're trying to do right now. Cooldown's coming in. It's going to hit on 4. Vacuum does land. The Winter's Curse on the Sing with the BKB. Oh, he's almost dropping, but not quite. We'll be able to retreat for the time being. They will find Leshrac in the process. Coil. It lands on 3. Sing trying to break it here. They're still trying to take it on Gyrocopter. Dagon from Indy will secure that. And now come with me, walking towards the tier 4s. Artstyle in the meantime, picking up a double. They're going on the melee racks in this bottom lane. Come with me, throwing out a last-ditch effort with his Fiend's Grip. Funnick accidentally killed the Necrobook 3. And we're going to see a buyback here from the Ancient Apparition. Throws it an Ice Blast, but it seems like a little too late. Funnick with the vacuum outside of the well. Paris sitting in the well alone. No buybacks, and good game is called by Burden. Na'Vi take game number 1.
I mean, at the end of the game, it didn't look close at all, but I think this game was much closer than what has happened.
I think it's one of those games where a couple of fights that go the way of Burden, and you see a totally different ending.
Absolutely.
Like, maybe if they can get to their BKBs a little bit faster, but